Hi all, this photo was shot with an unusual lens, which is Lensbaby 60mm f2.5, and it gives this interesting twist effect in the edges of the frame, and it's a manual lens, so I had to focus manually, and the settings recorded are of course not real, because I shot this with 60mm and f2.5, and it's the wide open setting for this lens. The light was coming from above the model. It was a quite nice soft light, but the sun was already quite down in the sky, so there wasn't a lot of light, and for this reason I had to raise the ISO. And tonight I'm going to make another black and white preset, because I'm not into these colors. I think they are rather dull, so I think that I can give more, make the photo more interesting in shades of gray, basically. So I already increased a bit the exposure. I'm going to make just one stop, because it was underexposed as shot, and I'm going to increase clarity, converting black and white first, raise the highlights, especially with the gradient on the model, both exposure and the highlights. I can even reduce the exposure. Let's do a 0.45, which seems nice. Okay, now I will play a bit with the contrast, see if I can increase the depth given by shadows and highlights. Now I'm going to play with the slides of the colors. Must be careful, of course, not to break the tones, like these ugly pixels, if I turn too much the slides. I'm going to darken the dress because I think it's a bit distracting. Now I'm going to take the filter I already created, and I want to increase clarity here. Okay, I think it does already look quite interesting like this.
Sono le ore 19.
I remove sharpness. It won't find the profile correction because it's not a mainstream lens. If you're not sure how it's spelled, it's Lensbaby. I will write it in the description of the video, so you can read it here. And maybe I can use some vignetting. More contrast. Okay, I think it can work like this. More light, and I'm going to check before and after. And I think it's quite interesting like this. After that I'm going to export in Photoshop and I will raise, I will dodge on the eyes, I think, basically, and adjust the contrast, maybe by increasing the black point. I will think about it. You can see the full version of the video, of course, on Skillshare. Just out of curiosity, no, black and white. So, new preset, black, white, 05, 09, 17, create, and it's ready. Export, and now Photoshop.